People often ask me why I put down a basketball and picked up a microphone. I felt like for me, making music was more of a better way of venting and getting your point across rather than, dribbling a basketball. But that's just me though. But I also felt like if you was punching niggas in the face every time they talk shit on the court, then that sport ain't for you. You know what I mean? I was just losing my mind. I felt like it all began when my grandpa died, like that was like the craziest thing that ever happened to me. Like forget being shot at, forget being jumped or not eating for 2 or 3 days, like my grandpa dying was probably the worst thing that can ever happen to me. And just getting that phone call from my mother, saying Zay, come to the house is important, and she's crying, screaming and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like what happened? You know what I mean? I'm lost, and just to get there and to just see him dead on my living room couch, like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like I just saw him yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at my grandmother who's been married to this man for about 40 plus years, not shedding a single tear, you know what I mean? Like you could just look at her and just see how much this is about to mess up. That was just like the pivotal point for everything. Like after on some, like I was on some, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I wanna do and when I wanna do it, and not really giving a fuck about what anybody got to say. That was just like a big influence on who I am today, and also the place I come from. I come from where it's hard to make it out. It's really, really, really hard, and I've always been that kind of person that wanted to make my mom proud of me. I didn't want her to have that. I didn't want her to have me in a place, she had me at, and to think like, this is where my son is gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? Like I never wanted to let my mom down. I mean, I guess that's kind of why I never really got into all the other extra shit in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But I never wanted to be like that. But it's hard there. Growing up in a place like that, according to us, is only two ways out. Either rapping or hooping. You know what I mean? And which one you gonna pick? Like a lot of things that I go through now in my life, past and current, is big influence on my music. And I get a lot from some of my peers, like, yo, Zay, bring the club music, how the clubs jumping, and it's just like, that's not where I'm at right now. Like, I first got heavy on the music shit, about 2 years ago from today, and I'm using it, to kind of say the things that I feel like I need to say, not so much on what people want to hear. A couple weeks ago, me and one of my homegirls, we was watching a Bob Marley interview. You know what I mean? And one thing that grabbed my attention that he said, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. You know what I mean? And that kind of relates to me in every single way, And that right there is like, it's everything to me. You know what I'm saying? Like like come on, dog. Like I come from New York City. You know what I mean? I come from where niggas is hungry. Niggas is they really want to get out this shit. At least the areas we in. And I'm surrounded in a place where everybody is doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So it makes it 10 times harder. And that makes me go 10 times harder. I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them kids that grew up in a household of one parent but had two parents. And seeing my pops, going back and forth to jail, and seeing my mom with a different dude while he's in jail, you know what I'm saying? And at a 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, you don't fully understand, what's actually going on. And it all stems back to the music, and that's why I do it. I feel like now this is my chance to actually talk for myself, you know what I'm saying? And tell them everything I felt from the age of 9 to the age of 21, and they mad at me for that. My mom gets offended when I tell the world how she decided to put a man before her son, and how my father was in and out of my life, But besides all that, man, I want to make a statement in this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? To be perfectly honest, like, I'm one of them guys, I don't want to be great. I don't want to be great. I want to be the greatest. I want niggas to hear every word I'm saying. I want niggas to feel me, pause. You know what I'm saying? I want niggas to put my name up there with, you know, the Andre 3000s, the Tupacs, the Eminems, the Lil Waynes, you know, even in today's J. Cole's, Drake's, Kendrick's, you know what I'm saying? I want to be one of them niggas. You know, and I'm here. I want niggas to know that, like, I'm here. Young Bronx nigga, you know, come from nothing, from Patterson Projects, you know what I'm saying? Where it's a fucking shootout every fucking night, you know what I'm saying? Innocent niggas dying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want niggas to know who the fuck I am. I want niggas to know who Zay Laws is, you know what I'm saying? And why I'm here. And I want niggas to know that I'ma stay here, you know what I'm saying? I want to plant my mark.
Dollar?
Yeah.
All
Alright, come on.
Say what's up, say Zay Laws the motherfucking man. Say that.
Hey, he's the man! All over the world! He's all over the world!
You gotta say Zay Laws. Say Zay Laws.